The Mediterranean Sea, a cradle of ancient civilizations, has seen the rise and fall of powerful empires, but few left a legacy as far-reaching as the Phoenicians. Known for their remarkable trade networks, their iconic purple dye, and their pioneering seafaring skills, the Phoenicians shaped the ancient world in ways that still influence us today. But who were they really? How did their culture, trade, and innovations impact the course of history? In this video we will uncover the mysteries of Phoenicia, a civilization that once flourished but whose true story remains shrouded in the sands of time. The Phoenicians were a Semitic-speaking people who emerged around 3000 BCE in the ancient Near East, specifically in the coastal regions of present-day Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. Their homeland consisted of a string of prosperous city-states such as Tyre, Sidon, and Byblos. Despite their relatively small geographical size, the Phoenicians would go on to have an outsized influence on the ancient world. Although they didn't create a unified empire like the Egyptians or the Mesopotamians, the Phoenicians were masters of trade, craftsmanship, and maritime navigation. In fact, they are often regarded as the first great sailors of the ancient world. The Phoenicians' influence was driven largely by their prowess in trade. They were the commercial giants of the ancient Mediterranean, establishing far-reaching trade networks that stretched from the Near East to the edges of Europe and Africa. With their advanced shipbuilding techniques, they were able to navigate treacherous waters and set up trading outposts along the coastlines of North Africa, Spain, and even Britain. At the heart of Phoenician commerce was their ability to produce high-quality goods. Among their most famous exports was the coveted purple dye, extracted from the murex shellfish. This dye was so precious that it was often reserved for royalty and the elite, giving the Phoenicians a monopoly on the textile trade for centuries. The Phoenicians also traded in other valuable materials such as glass, metalwork, and cedar wood, which was highly prized for construction. Their extensive trade routes not only brought them wealth, but also fostered cultural exchanges, making Phoenicia a central hub of the ancient world. Perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Phoenicians is their seafaring expertise. They are credited with pioneering the art of long-distance sea travel, developing navigational tools, and creating some of the earliest forms of shipbuilding technology. This mastery of the seas enabled them to establish colonies across the Mediterranean. One of the most famous of these colonies was Carthage, located in modern-day Tunisia. Founded around 814 BCE, Carthage would eventually rise to become a mighty power in its own right, challenging the Roman Empire for supremacy in the Mediterranean. But Carthage was only one part of a larger Phoenician colonial network. These colonies acted as trading hubs, allowing the Phoenicians to control maritime trade and maintain their influence across the Mediterranean. They also spread their unique culture, including their writing system, which would later be adapted by other civilizations, most notably the Greeks. One of the greatest contributions of the Phoenicians to the world was their alphabet. Unlike the complex cuneiform of Mesopotamia or the hieroglyphs of Egypt, the Phoenician alphabet was a simple system of 22 characters, each representing a consonant. This innovation revolutionized writing and was the precursor to many modern alphabets, including Greek and Latin. The Phoenician alphabet spread across the ancient world as their trade routes expanded, and it had a profound influence on the development of written language, paving the way for communication systems that we still use today. Despite their vast influence, the Phoenicians were eventually absorbed into larger empires. In the 6th century BCE, the Persians conquered the region, and by 146 BCE the Romans destroyed Carthage in the Third Punic War, marking the end of Phoenician dominance. However, their impact did not disappear with their fall. The Phoenicians may have faded from the pages of history, but their legacy lives on. Their innovations in trade, navigation, and writing shaped the development of the Mediterranean world and beyond. Today, we still benefit from their contributions, from the alphabet we use to the globalized trade networks that connect the world. The Phoenicians unlocked a world of possibilities, and through their ingenuity and spirit of exploration, they left a lasting imprint on the course of history.